What's going on, everybody? All right, so I'm in the truck, I'm riding around, I'm thinking about the new 2022 supposedly Tundra that's coming out. If that's even when it's coming out, I'm starting to doubt it because we've not hardly seen anything about it yet. But I want to discuss some things that has been rumored, not saying they're 100%, but it's been rumored. So we're talking about the twin turbo V6 hybrid motor that's putting out all this horsepower and putting out all this power and all this towing capacity and mile per gallon and stuff like that. And of course, the first negative is it's new. It's new. We've talked about that before. It's new. Usually when a vehicle comes out in the first year, it's not a good option to buy it because, they don't have all the bugs worked out yet. There could be little gremlins that's hiding that they don't know about yet. You could have problems with it. Yes, this engine has been in like Lexuses and stuff. I dropped the phone. Yes, this engine has been out in Lexuses and stuff like this, and it is still different. They put more power in it. They've done upgrades to it and stuff like that. There's still new stuff about this engine that has not been, tested by individuals for hundreds of thousands of miles. So, it's new. But besides that, the big V8 that's in this Platinum Edition right here, there's not a ton of stuff that's probably going to go wrong with it. But on this twin turbo V6 engine, when you start towing heavy stuff, you're going to put a lot of strain on those turbos. They're going to get hot. Heat is a huge enemy to turbos. Turbos don't have a life expectancy of, 500,000 miles. You're not going to get a 1,000,000-mile Tundra probably on stock turbos. And when turbos go out, they're not cheap. They're pretty expensive. And it's, a turbo is not a if item when you have to replace it. It's a when item that you have to replace it. So I think a life expectancy of turbos are actually used to be was something like 80,000 miles. That may have changed now. It may have changed with these. But, 80,000 miles is quite a while. But the life expectancy of this 5.7, people's got 300,000-400,000 miles on these and they're still going strong. You ain't going to get that probably out of a turbo engine without having to replace those turbos. Now, next is I want to talk about this because I'm not saying Toyota's going to have this issue. I'm just saying Honda did. So in my Civic Si, there is a gas dilution problem with the oil. And I talked to the tech about this at Honda. And he said the reason it's doing this is people don't drive those cars hard enough. Some people don't. And it causes that dilution. Now, I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what the tech told me. And I'm sure Honda's told them that. If you're not driving that vehicle like hard, then you could have that dilution problem, which I don't really have that problem all the time because sometimes I get on mine a little bit. But could that happen in the Tundra? I'm not saying it can't. I'm not saying it's going to. I'm not saying Toyota will have that problem. But you have people out there that baby their trucks. I don't dog this truck out. I babied my truck. It was expensive. I don't, beat this truck all to pieces. And if, you buy a Platinum Edition in the twin turbo, I'm sure it's probably even going to be more than the 5.7 is. So are people really going to beat that truck up too? Probably not. So is that a possibility? I'm sure it could be. Honda's having that problem. Who's to say other companies can't have the same issue? And a lot of people do baby their trucks because these things are more like luxury vehicles now than they are work trucks. I mean, this thing has like Lexus grade leather and power seats and heated and air conditioned seats. And I mean, the ride is good on this thing. I mean, it's more like a luxury SUV almost than it is a truck. And people buy them for that. So if you don't run these things hard, is it possible? Honda's having it. I'm not saying, like I said, I'm not saying Toyota will. I'm just saying Honda is. So the downside to even if you don't have any problems in like the first gen model, there's still a lot of issues that are going to arise. There's just no way to get around it. Turbos don't last forever. Who knows how long this hybrid transmission is going to work. I mean, there's just a ton of stuff that can go wrong. And you know, if you're got this 6-cylinder engine and you're towing 18,000 rumored pounds behind it, how long is a 6-cylinder going to last that's not a diesel? I mean, that's a lot of strain on the engine, not only the turbos, but the engine as well. I don't know. The more I think about this, the more scary it is to think about buying one of those trucks. I hear about all the issues in the Ford EcoBoost and the issues that I had with my EcoBoost with the intercooler, you know, caused it to go into limp mode for the condensation and stuff like that. It's just scary, and it's something to think about. So if that stuff like that scares you, maybe you need to look more into like getting a model that 2021 or a 20 or even a 16 with low miles like mine. Mine's not for sale. But I wanted to get on here and talk about some of these issues that you may run into, and some of the things that is going to probably go out on the truck. Like I said, that's not an if on the turbos, that's usually a when, because turbos just don't last forever. I appreciate y'all watching this video. Please like, share, and subscribe. We'll see you guys next time.